But instead, their only conclusion in this statement that they put out was the fact that since no one was hospitalized, well, that's a major victory for the vaccines. Here's what the CDC wrote in their official statement on the matter. Quote, "These survey findings underline the importance of vaccination for protecting individuals against severe illness and death related to COVID-19. Nearly every respondent reported receiving at least one COVID-19 vaccine dose, and none of the 181 people who reported testing positive were hospitalized. The CDC continues to recommend that everyone ages 6 months and older stay up to date with all COVID-19 vaccines, including receiving an updated vaccine. COVID-19 vaccines are effective at protecting people from getting seriously ill, being hospitalized, and dying." Now, I don't know about you, but watching the ever-moving goalpost, well, it's almost a beautiful thing. It's like a work of art. And in case you forgot about how far the goalpost has actually moved from the year 2021, when the vaccines were first introduced, up until now, when you have a fully vaccinated CDC conference becoming a super spreader event, well, here's a short compilation video to refresh your memory.
The only positive thing out of this is we should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, and
nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
You don't have a choice.
As long as not everybody is vaccinated, nobody will be safe.
Normalcy only returns when we largely vaccinated the entire global population. So
get the fucking vaccine! You need to get vaccinated, and if you don't, you are going to die.
I know you're vaccinated, you're the smart ones, but you know there's people out there who aren't listening to God and what God wants. You know who they are.
The unvaccinated people.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this.
If you are the unvaccinated, you are the problem.
You're the problem.
Condemn them, shame them, blame them.
The only people that you can blame are the unvaccinated.
Frankly, we can't trust the unvaccinated.
They should not be part of polite society.
The lunatics who won't take COVID vaccines walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic.
If you're willing to walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy.
You have no right not to be vaccinated.
You don't have the right to contaminate someone else.
You can't go around pointing a gun in somebody's face, which is what it is when people are unvaccinated.
They are all idiots and losers.
This is a real movement in this country against the unvaccinated.
Jennifer Aniston is cutting non-vaccinated people out of her life.
Unrepentant, unvaccinated.
They should be removed from the hospital.
Those who refuse to be vaccinated should be denied health care.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy, rest in peace, Wheezy.
Some doctors are saying they'll refuse treatment for people who choose not to get the shot.
Why are hospital and ICU resources going to them?
Morons who will not get the shot. The unvaccinated clowns.
Idiots who think that they can do their own research.
Don't do any of your own research. Doing your own research is associated with conspiracy theory circles.
This go-it-alone approach, doing your own research, it can have serious consequences.
You should get prison time for even questioning the vaccines.
Can we all stop saying, I need to do my own research?
That phrase, do your own research, 4 words, 4 little words that are hurting America.
Doing your own research hurts America.
Everybody has a supercomputer in their hand that empowers them to do their own research, and that's the problem.
You must not do your own research.
I need to do my own research. I don't ever understand what that means. I'm doing my own research.
You can't do your own research unless you're a scientist. So do your own research.
Maybe you've told yourself you're playing it safe, you just want to wait and see since this is a new vaccine. No.
Grow the up and get the vaccine.
Unvaccinated people spread the virus.
Get the vaccine, you dopes.
Don't be a get yourself vaccinated. That's just all there is to it.
There's no excuse.
No excuse for being unvaccinated.
There's no rational and no emotional argument that adds up against getting your damn shot. There just isn't.
But you made a conscious decision not to get the vaccine.
I also have natural immunity. So for me, personally, this vaccine poses a greater risk than a benefit. I'm also not a risk to any of you. Let's look at the science.
So we see that the natural infection is given greater protection or slightly greater protection than vaccination.
This is a vaccine that was created to prevent severity of disease and to prevent hospitalizations. But the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID and does not prevent you from transmitting COVID.
Oh my goodness.
Reality.
No, that's not so. Come on. No, you've been at Fox TV too long.
I really don't think that we should allow this kind of misinformation.
Get the vaccine so that you don't get COVID-19. We poke ya when we poke ya, so you don't get corona.
When we poke ya, well, we know you're gonna be safe from COVID infected you.
The virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Do it so you stop spreading this terrible disease.
And that vaccine, a key goal is to stop the transmission so that you get almost no infection going on whatsoever.
Expectation for vaccines is not to get infected.
A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them.
When the virus gets to you, you stop it.
You're not going to catch it, you're not going to get sick, you're not going to transmit it.
The vaccine is absolutely bulletproof.
Vaccines block you from getting and giving the virus.
100% effective at preventing COVID.
The vaccine prevents you from getting infected.
It is to keep you from getting it and then spreading it.
We have the ability to stop COVID in its tracks.
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
And all of that leading up to today, where you have a CDC conference right down the street from the CDC headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, experiencing a COVID outbreak among its fully vaccinated staff. That is, if nothing else, a good reminder to be quite critical of the narratives that are coming at us from the TV screens. Because now, the new narrative that's coming from the CDC today is that these vaccines and boosters help to prevent serious illness and hospitalization. Now, whether that's true or not is a bit debatable. There are some studies that say that it is true, and many other studies that say that it isn't. But that's not really the point here, because that's not how these vaccines were sold to the public over the past 2.5 years. As that compilation video just clearly showed, over the past 2 years, the messaging that was coming down from both the mainstream media as well as from the highest level government officials was that these vaccines were essentially cure-alls that would not only protect you from contracting COVID, but also it would stop you from spreading COVID to others. But then, as we saw, slowly over the past 2 years, these claims have been whittled down one after another to now only being that maybe it'll help prevent serious illness and hospitalization. That is, if nothing else, very cool. If you'd like to read these survey results from the CDC,